Hello my lovely viewers, in today's video I'm going to discuss some of the most important questions that you can get from Act 1 Scene 1 of Julius Caesar. So without much ado, let us begin with the discussion of the question answers. Now as you know that from the drama section of your literature question paper, ICSE asks you RTC based questions which are reference to the context based questions, and there are 3 questions of 3 marks and 1 question of 4 marks. So it adds up to a 16 mark question that you will get from Julius Caesar. From Act 1 Scene 1, the most important questions include: who are Flavius and Marullus and what role do they have in this scene? Now, I have already discussed this elaborately in detail in my video on the line-by-line explanation of Act 1 Scene 1 of Julius Caesar. You can go and have a look at that video. It is already live on my channel. Now, how would you answer this question? Flavius and Marullus are the tribunes. They are Roman officials who are responsible for maintaining order, and they represent the interests of the common people. In this scene, they are upset by the enthusiastic response of the commoners to Caesar's return, as they see it as an act of fickle or shifting loyalty. They remove decorations from Caesar's statues and scold and insult the commoners for their behavior. Now remember, there are 2 questions being asked. So as I have shown it to you, you need to answer 2 questions in 2 separate lines so that the examiner finds it easier to get the answer that you're trying to write, and you are able to show clarity to the examiner from the beginning itself. The second question that you may be asked is: why are Flavius and Marullus upset with the commoners? Now this is one of the central things that takes place in the play. You will answer it like this: Flavius and Marullus are upset with the commoners because they were previously supporters of Pompey, a rival to Caesar, and now they are celebrating Caesar's triumph or victory also, you can write over here. Now Flavius and Marullus see this as a betrayal of their previous loyalty and as an evidence of the commoners' fickleness and lack of genuine political conviction, or that they are shifting their loyalty. They do not have a strong political standpoint is what they are worried about, that how are they being able to easily switch sides. Next, what is the significance of the Feast of Lupercal mentioned in this scene? Now, you will get a detailed idea about the Feast of Lupercal again in my explanation of Act 1 Scene 1 of the video which I have already provided on the channel. I'll also provide the link to this video in the I button and in the description box. You can go and refer to that in details. You can see I've provided you a picture also of how I have elaborately discussed the Feast of Lupercal over there. From the answer point of view, we can say that the Feast of Lupercal is a celebration of fertility and is mentioned in the scene as the reason for the gathering of the crowd. It provides the context or the background for the scene and helps to explain why the commoners are in a celebratory mood. They are out here for celebration also. It also introduces the idea of the importance of public events and rituals in the Roman society. So this will fetch you your 3 marks if it is a 3 mark question that is asked by the ICSE examiners. Another very generalized question that you can get is: what are the themes that are introduced in Act 1 Scene 1 of the play? You'll answer it like this: this scene introduces some important themes like the fickleness of public opinion. You can also write this phrase as the shifting loyalties of the people, the tension between the desires of the common people and the concerns of the ruling class, the role of public spectacle, and manipulation in politics. It also foreshadows or outlines or announces the larger conflict between Caesar and those who oppose his growing power. Now if you see, I have put comma and I've given at least 4 points to you in this question, so that if you get a question which is as high as 4 marks, you'll be able to tackle this question. How does does this scene set the tone for the rest of the play? Now remember, this question can also be asked in another way, which is a very favorite way of the ICSE Council, that is, what is the importance of Act 1, Scene 1 of the play? This you will find towards the end of my previous video, which I have uploaded and is live on my channel now, on the explanation of Act 1, Scene 1 of the play. You can answer it like this, that the scene sets the tone by establishing the political turmoil and the conflicting loyalties that will drive the plot. It introduces the idea of public opinion as a powerful and volatile force, and it foreshadows the eventual conflict or the fight or the tension between Caesar and those who fear his ambition. The scene also highlights the complexities of political power and the challenges of maintaining control in a society where public sentiment can shift rapidly. This is one way of answering it. Another way of answering it is mentioned in my previous video. You can go and have a look over there. Now, just as you were previously asked what is the significance or importance of Act 1, Scene 1 of the play, you can also be asked a question, what is the significance or importance of the commoner's response to Caesar's return? You can answer it as, the response of the commoners to Caesar's return highlights the theme of fickle public opinion. It is very weak, it is feeble, it does not have a very strong standpoint. It shows how quickly people can shift their loyalty based on the prevailing sentiment. This sets the stage for the larger themes of loyalty and manipulation in the play. So you see, you are not leaving any stone unturned. No matter what the question is, try to provide as many answers, as many points as possible for the examiner, so that there is no scope for the examiner to deduct marks. Question 7 that I have here for you is, how do Flavius and Marullus plan to prevent Caesar's popularity, or how do they stop the growing popularity of Caesar? So there are different ways in which you can be asked the same question. The answer will more or less hover around these points. Flavius and Marullus plan to undermine Caesar's popularity by removing the decorations from his statues and insulting as well as brainwashing the commoners to not celebrate his return. They want to remind the people of their previous loyalty to Pompey and make them question their allegiance or loyalty towards Caesar. Next, how does this scene reveal the tension between the powerful and the ordinary citizens? Again, I have explained this as in the context of the government of Rome being the Roman Republic at this time in my previous video. You can see that. But how would we answer this question? This scene reveals the tension between the powerful and the ordinary citizens through the tribune's treatment of the commoners. Flavius and Marullus represent the elite's concern about the potential for masses to be swayed easily by leaders like Caesar, which possesses a threat to their authority. I'm sorry, I read it wrong, which poses a threat to their authority. Now, another way in which you can get the same question about the Feast of Lupercal is, what does the reference to the Feast of Lupercal suggest about the Roman society? Now, the reference to the Feast of Lupercal suggests that the Roman society is deeply rooted in tradition and rituals. These are very important things, and that is why there is so much of celebration, pomp and festivity in Rome at this time when the play begins. It highlights the importance of public ceremonies and celebrations in shaping public opinion. It also introduces the idea that public events can serve as a platform for political propaganda and manipulation. Now you can see this very clearly if I associate with you the Ganpati celebrations that take place in Maharashtra, the Durga Puja celebrations that take place in Kolkata. There is somewhere or the other, whether you understand it, whether you sense it or not, all these major big festivals that take place, there is some kind of political agenda also behind it. I remember when I was in Kolkata and I had gone for pandal hopping at that time, the people over there are certain pujas or there are certain places which are popular not because of the designs that they make, but because of the political leader who who is the major person who funds that particular puja or that particular decoration in that area. So there is somewhere or the other political propaganda no matter what. So that is exactly something which would happen in ancient Rome, and strangely we see it very much in our present day society as well. Question 10. What does the removal of decorations from Caesar's statues symbolize in the context of the play? Now, the removal of decorations from Caesar's statues symbolizes the attempt of the tribunes to weaken Caesar's growing popularity and remind the commoners of their previous loyalty to Pompey. This action highlights the political and the symbolic significance of public displays of loyalty and opposition to power in ancient Rome's highly stratified society. Stratified society, you already know the conflict that was there in the play, as I have highlighted in my previous video. I constantly keep referring to that because I've explained it elaborately about the stratification of society. Now, what does this term mean? It means how there was a conflict between the plebeians and the patricians, the high class people and the commoners. That is exactly what is being suggested over here. Now, connected to the previous question, I have the last question here for you. How does Shakespeare use the characters of Flavius and Marullus to reflect the tensions between the plebeians and the patricians in ancient Rome? See, I've provided you a short screenshot of the video where I have explained the conflict between the Roman Republican people, the patricians and the plebeians also. Flavius and Marullus, as tribunes, represent the patrician class and their concerns about the loyalty of the plebeians. Their act of scolding and insulting the commoners, it reflects the patricians' fear of the plebeians' vulnerability. Means that how they'll shift very easily to manipulation by charismatic and very strong leaders like Caesar. This also reflects the historical tension between the privileged class, that is the aristocratic class, and the working class in ancient Rome. So you see how this is a major theme, a major area where the examiner may question you. So if you have broadly, got a grasp over these 10 to 11 questions which I've tried to provide, you are sure to be prepared for your exams. So that's it from this video, guys. I'll see you in the next video with some more interesting topics. Thank you for watching. Bye.